It is primary day in New Jersey, and this year there's renewed focus on the ballots themselves. Critics say the design of the ballots is unfair to any candidate not connected to powerful political parties. News 12's Brian Donahue has this positively New Jersey story.
You know, growing up in New Jersey, there's a lot of things that you'd think are just totally normal until you move or travel or examine other places, and then you realize that they're unique or bizarre. Jug handles, beach badges, and it turns out, our election ballots. Yeah, New Jersey is the only state in the U.S. whose primary election ballots look like this, with one column, usually A or B, that's prime real estate, listing all the candidates handpicked by the local county party, and the rest banished to what they call ballot Siberia. Only Sussex and Salem counties don't do this. For example, here's how a ballot from New Jersey's 2017 Democratic primary ballot in Sussex County looked. The candidates are listed together under the office they're seeking. Simple, right? Kind of how any third grader would organize it, and how 49 other states do it. Now here's the ballot in Middlesex, which was more Jersey typical, with the county line candidates in a neat row in line B with Phil Murphy at the top, and all the other candidates scattered around in a confusing mess.
That design is meant to sort of attract people's attention to the line and away from the challengers.
Brandon McCoy is president of New Jersey Policy Perspective, which is calling for a redesign of the ballots.
When you compare it to ballots that you see elsewhere in other states, you really see, in stark contrast, how confusing it could be and how purposefully unnecessary it is, right? To have sort of this weird design where you have, the favored sons and daughters in one line, and then challengers could be anywhere else, all the way in column J.
A study by Professor Julia Rubin at the Blaustein School at Rutgers found New Jersey's the only one in the nation where party bosses actually have the power to design a ballot that gives them this upper hand. In a lawsuit challenging the practice, several candidates and the New Jersey Working Families Alliance cites a phenomenon in human psychology known as position bias. That makes people more likely to choose something prominent in their visual field. Kind of like how at the supermarket, we're more likely to choose the cereal on the shelf at eye level. It also weighs heavily on who decides to run in the first place. Democratic Assemblyman Nick Chiravallata from Bayonne fell out of favor with the county Dems and knew he had no chance without the county line, so he's packing it in. There's a lot more candidates out there just like him.
What this is really about, though, is about the unfairness and the advantage provided the party-endorsed candidates. And it's about democracy. And
it does make you wonder who else might wind up on those ballots you're voting on, or who else might wind up winning if Jersey bosses didn't have this kind of power. A power that is, unfortunately, positively New Jersey.
And Attorney General Gurbir Grewal, appointed by Governor Murphy, has sided against the progressive groups and candidates in their lawsuit seeking changes to those party line ballots.